where you are.
What? It is. Yeah.
It is.
It's warm.
Live. Good morning. 11 a.m. Eastern. That is 8 a.m. Pacific. And welcome into the Ron Ross Radio Show podcast. This is season 3, episode 4 for today, February 4th already, which is nuts. January's gone. January, we will never have another January of 2025. This is just nuts. Nuts. I'm Ron Ross. Thank you so much for hanging with us. That dude over there playing air guitar, Jan Jaglinski, who's the co-host and our executive producer, and basically doing. There you go. Salute. Remember the Hawkeye salute, Hawkeye.
Right.
Come on, man.
Could be.
But welcome in to the podcast. As always, we'd love for you to interact. You can put your comments in the comment section with us live if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, or if you're watching us on our Facebook page. And remember to, if you are, to mash that subscribe button and like us and do all the things. Appreciate it. Maybe even post the link and tell your friends and family about it. I got news about a podcast, by the way, John, in just a second.
Okay. They're so hot right now.
You can leave them, huh?
I said they're so hot right now.
Well, I've got news coming up. You can also call us if you'd like. 240-415-9090. 240-415-9Z. And leave a comment, question,
Niner,
anything you'd like to hang with us. So,
yeah.
I go walking in to a friend's last night, and he goes, "Hey, it's the number 2 podcast." And I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he goes, "No, seriously, I didn't know you had a podcast." I'm like, "What do you?" Well, yeah,
what?
I mean, I have a podcast.
Okay.
And he goes, "Yeah, Frederick Magazine." And they listed it's the best of Frederick. And it just said podcast.
You're number 2.
Ron Ross.
Okay.
Well, now here's the question, though.
It's
Is
your
it
other one.
this podcast?
No, it's not.
The Ron Ross Radio Show podcast.
It's the other one you do. What's the
Ronversations?
That's the one.
That's the one.
It's the Ronversation. It's not. It's 100%. It's not this one.
Are you sure, John? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
it's not us. I mean, it's a nice thought, though.
That's very nice, though. I'm number 2. Sometimes I wake up feeling like number 2.
Saying that.
Sometimes I wake up feeling like number 2. Absolutely.
I'm number 2.
No, I'm number 2. Hey, you know what? Actually, I feel pretty good because I'm on the waning sides of this, whatever this thing was going on with sinuses. And so the sinuses seem to have cleared up.
Yay.
Last week, it just felt like somebody had taken a bicycle pump to them. So much pressure. But, I still have a lingering cough. But other than that, we're good. And the reason I'm telling you that is because I don't know. I just thought
just because we talk on a podcast and
I'm doing a little better.
Yeah, good.
That's okay. I'm just
solid.
I'm keeping you updated.
Riveted. We love to keep our audience
riveted. All right, John. Okay. I did want to mention that I worked, and many of you know me from working with the Pulse at Sirius XM for many years. 15, 16, something like that, and doing a morning show.
Mm-hmm.
And now the thing with Sirius XM is they don't have ratings. They don't have radio ratings.
Yeah.
They don't measure how many listeners or anything like that. And talk to me off air, and I'll give you my theory about that. But anyway, I now work in what we call regular radio, broadcast radio, or terrestrial radio. Right. At a radio station in Frederick, Maryland, called WAFY are the call letters, and it's Key 103. Key, because Francis Scott Key is from Frederick, Maryland, and he's buried at Mount Olivet Cemetery. So,
and it's the key to having a great day. Joining
having a great day with Dina Carroll Morning Show, and Meredith Marks does middays, and I do the afternoon, what they call the afternoon.
Ron Ross drives you home in the afternoon.
The Ron Ross ride home.
T103. Exactly. Let me do some imaging.
Well, we have an imaging guy.
I could be him.
15, 340, 81.
Tell Fred I'll work for cheap.
He is all over the road. It's the Ron Ross Ride Home.
Yeah.
Come on. I wrote those. Anyway.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
So
I figured.
We do have ratings.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, we do. And back in the day, back in John's day, it was called Arbitron.
Right.
But Arbitron was, but there were two different ratings companies. There was Arbitron and Birch. And
that's right. I remember.
So anyway, the Nielsen rating, Nielsen bought Arbitron, I think. And Nielsen, they're the TV people. So anyway, ratings came out. And the afternoon show, Key 103 overall, number one. Doing really, really well. Good morning, Jennifer Scunna, who is posting from California.
Yeah,
who hope all is well with you.
Eggs are not $19 in California.
Good. What? Eggs are not $19?
This is a whole conversation on my timeline.
Oh,
and I
okay.
appreciate you, by the way, Jennifer, for jumping in there and let me know that eggs are not $19.
They're not $19,
as some people would have you believe. Go ahead.
It's $18.99. Anyway,
it's not true.
Anyway, so the ratings came out, and Key 103, huge, and we're doing quite well. So I was really happy.
Congrats.
Thank you. We were very excited. All across the board, the morning show, middays. I mean, everybody did really, really, really well.
Yeah.
And it's gratifying to know that, we have people listening.
It's always gratifying.
It's very gratifying. I think am I using the right word? I'm grateful. Let's put it that way. I'm grateful, and it's always nice to get news like that. So because I'd been out of the ratings game for so long that I really kind of forgot about it. But no, back in the ratings game, you are doing what you can to serve your clients, serve your listeners, and serve your clients, and try to give the best programming possible, and try to put on the best show for the success of everybody involved. So it's really nice to see that happen. It was really welcome news.
Couldn't happen to a nicer dude.
Well, who? The morning show?
Or a better team.
It was a good team, and all the programming all the way down. The music's on point, I think, and the all the stuff in between, what they call the interstitials, the imaging pieces, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it just really promotes an energy and a fun atmosphere. We're just fun. We're fun to listen to. And
local radio still works, and
it still does. It does.
I love the fact, by the way, that you guys are actually live and you're there.
I'm live and in person. I literally leave this house. I don't do it here in the studio. I leave and go to work.
I love that.
It's great. Yeah, it's so funny because my phone, I get in the car, and as soon as I look at my phone, because I'm going to hook it up to the charger in the car, it goes, "You have 17 minutes to get to work."
It knows now.
It knows now. And then when I park, you are parked at work. It'll be 17 minutes to get home. I have a 17-minute commute. You can't beat that with a stick. I'm telling you, man.
You can.
Well, I mean, I did. I worked from home for 3 years or whatever during the pandemic, and it was great. I mean, the only traffic I had was maybe an overturned cat on the stairs, but other than that, it was pretty much clear sailing.
Right.
But I do kind of miss taking the train. I do like hopping in the car and heading to work. I don't like being late. So, and then that's, especially for an air shift, you don't want to do that.
No, that would be a bad thing. Always.
But I show up, early now so I can do what they call show prep. Anyway, station successful. I'm very, very happy about that. And then, and apparently people like listening to the Ronversations podcast. I will post that link to the Ronversations podcast. I'm sorry. I've talked to all kinds of great people who have been rolling through the area. Yeah. They send me the interviews for great bands and artists and legendary artists. I got to talk to, I think I told you, I talked to Ace Frehley of formerly of Kiss and an idol of mine. And it was amazing. So that's part of the Ronversations. And so I'll post that link. So if you want to partake and listen to the Ronversation. Hey,
why not?
Come on. Hey,
why not?
Sorry.
Yep, still there.
This weekend, it's still there. Sorry about that. And I didn't hit the cough button. I apologize.
It's all right.
So this weekend,
Mhm.
there was a big deal. And John, you might remember this from being living in the area for 20, 30 years, whatever. There was a
A plus, yeah.
there was a festival in downtown Frederick. And downtown Frederick, they like to do a bunch of things to, bring people downtown. There's the Kris Kringle procession. There's In the Street Festival and all of these
It's a
things.
good thing. Yeah.
So this was Fire and Ice.
Was Pat Benatar there?
Then she was not Fire and Ice. I know. I get it. You're funny.
All right.
So,
try.
So it was basically, I am not.
You're shaking.
I'm not level. I'm not level.
What are you doing?
I'm not level. Hang on. I need to
Ron's
level.
fixing the camera.
I need to level
right
up. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Listening, not paying attention to
really all it is just wedging something underneath there. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that is.
I feel like I'm going downhill now. All right, so
because of your ceiling at the top, it's creating.
That's what I'm looking at.
It might just be an illusion.
Okay. Well, you know what? All right.
Let it go.
I'll mess with that later. So anyway, there's a festival called Fire and Ice, and so they have these ice sculptures, and then they have these fire displays and fire dancers with torches and stuff like that, and you can make s'mores and it's usually the dead of winter and super cold because it's in it was the end of it was February 1st. It was Saturday.
Okay.
And also, excuse me.
There he goes using the cough button.
No, I used my cough button.
I'm taking a sip too. That was perfect timing.
Oh, sorry about that, John. I wasn't looking. So also in Frederick on Saturdays, the first Saturday of every month, it's called First Saturday, and then you have artists who play downtown. Guitar players.
Stores stay open.
Like yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we had an ice sculpture done for the parent company. So Manning Media Solutions, and for the multiple radio stations that and it's a local dude owns and operates this, which is very rare nowadays.
What's up, Fred?
Fred Manning and partners, and so they had this sculpture, this ice sculpture that was commissioned, and it was designed, and it was a radio tower with headphones on top.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, go to the Key 103 radio.
Oh no, I just got an image in my head.
Yeah.
And it immediately went there. What? It immediately went there too.
So no. I was going to say we got on top of it. We got in front of it.
Was like that's
with our social media, with the pictures, and we're like, yeah, we know. That's all we said.
Okay.
So I went and broadcast from there.
It's like Austin Powers, right?
By the time by the time I got out there, and I was broadcasting on a Saturday afternoon, and I was going to do a live remote from there. I had my microphone, and and it goes into the phone and goes right back to the studio, and everything's awesome.
Right.
By the time I got there, I didn't know the original design, because when I got there, the headphones, it's out in 42-degree weather, and the sun was beating right down on it.
Forget about it. Right.
So the headphones had already dropped off. So it was a radio tower. That's what I saw.
Good.
I'm like, oh, okay, it's a radio tower. All right. So I'm doing some breaks, and I'm talking to the boss, the big boss, and I'm showing pictures of the original design, and I'm like, oh my. So anyway,
so the big boss showed you the pictures.
So exactly. And they were posted too up on our social media.
I mean,
they were posted on our social media.
Sometimes.
So I walk away,
right,
and do another break someplace else. I talk to the ice sculpture guy, and I'm talking to people in the crowd. And when I come back, 90% of it is toppled over. Now it's just crashed down. The ice is crashed down. Yeah. Even half the tower's gone. It's just it didn't last in the sunshine. I mean, it's not going to. Why would it? How could it? Right?
No.
So there's a family that comes up, and I'm still talking on the air, and I'm talking to this family, talking to a dad.
Yeah.
And his father was there. And then the two little girls. One was super shy, but the other one was not shy at all. Okay. What was your favorite sculpture? It was Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. And she had a favorite boat, because they put these boats in the creek, and this regatta of boats, which is kind of cool. And they're all lit up, and different businesses and so on.
Cool stuff.
And I said, all right, well, I'm going to show you our ice sculpture, but just remember, it's been out in the sunshine for a while and something has happened. And so I step aside and a little girl just goes, oh, that's sad. This is live on the air. It was fantastic. She was awesome.
Sad.
She's like, oh, that's sad.
Oh,
it was great. It was great. But you know what?
Yeah.
I kind of got a little, what they say, you get a little more, I got a little more mileage out of that.
Probably.
Than, and,
right?
and had a lot of fun with the people, and the listeners were fantastic and fun. And yeah, the original image and the comments we got were hilarious. And it was, you had to just go, okay, and make the best of what you could. So we did. And so it was a lot of fun, but I just thought it was
no radio towers next time.
So I was talking to the big boss yesterday, and I said, well, what's our takeaway? What's our lesson learned? So we've already talked about designs for next year and doing a bigger broadcast and stuff like that. So we're already working on next year. So that's the great thing that's come out of that is just, you shake your head, you chuckle to yourself, and then you learn from it and move on, which is what we're doing. But I thought it was great. I mean, it was a great event, a fun event put on by Downtown Frederick, which was pretty cool. And some of the ice sculptures were cool, and I didn't really get around to see any of the fire stuff, but that usually kicks in at night. But still, it was a great time. It was interesting.
On one hand, you're lucky to have such a nice day in February, probably, and on the other hand, it's like, well,
right, it's a double-edged sword, right? You don't want it so cold that people don't come out.
Right.
One,
right.
Number two, you don't want it so warm that your ice sculptures. There's a little happy medium in there.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah. But that is the risk you run when you run an outside event, and B, you're running a winter event. That's going to happen, and in the summer you can get rained out. So I mean, it's a lot of risk when you try doing an outside event like that. So, but still, they pulled it off, and it was still pretty funny. I thought. Oh,
well, you made it memorable, so there is that.
Well, it was memorable for me. Right. That is for sure,
and for anyone who saw it.
Yeah. Well, when they first got there, because I'm sure the comments were, again.
All right, we get it. We get it.
I know. That's really what we said in the posting was like, yes, we know.
We get it.
That's all we said. Yes, we know.
Sometimes that's the best you can do.
That's all you can do.
Acknowledge and move on.
It was all good though. I think we got, I told the boss, there's no such thing as bad press.
No,
I guess.
No, I mean, it's ice. It melts.
People were talking. People were talking. Oh, it was a very famous ice sculpture.
Very funny.
Out on the
it's good stuff.
But no, I'm not, again, I gotta hand it to the company for just recognizing it and seeing it and going, all right, here's what we're gonna do. Let's pivot and let's turn it into a positive as best we can. So we did. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. What's going on in your world there, Jan? What's new and exciting?
Well, I mean, following the winter mishap down here and the snow and all that kind of stuff. And we didn't talk about that much last time. The 3.5 inches of snow. Yeah, it's so we're coming out of it now, and it's gonna be, I think, 71 or 72 here today. So
okay.
This is a little more normal, probably a little bit warm. We're probably normally in the 60s. We have 2 cold months here, really, which is essentially January and some of December. And occasionally you'll get a little blast in February, but it's starting to be nice, which is cool. Very, very excited about that.
If you're joining us for the first time, by the way, John lives in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, which is right off the coast. And
in case you're wondering and you're trying to figure out geographically where we are, Almost at the Georgia border.
Yeah, you're so close.
Literally 20 less. We're exit 8, so 8
So
miles
close,
into South
yeah.
Carolina, and
Yeah,
so
when you're driving there like I did, you have to traverse almost the entire state of
you
South
pretty much
Carolina
do.
to
You
get
pretty
to
much, yeah.
get to where he is.
Sorry, yeah. So pretty far south. About further geographic references for
Yeah.
anyone who cares. 5 hours from Atlanta, 5 hours from Orlando, 2.5 hours from Jacksonville, Florida. And I just looked up because we're talking about taking a cruise that we signed up for in, I think it's June, out of Miami, and it's about a 7.5 hour drive to Miami.
Where are you going to go from Miami to where?
Aruba, Bonaire, and Caraco.
Okay.
Pretty deep Caribbean cruise, like
Yeah,
way
it is.
down.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like a blast.
Yes. Come join us on the Carnival Celebration. I think
Woo-hoo.
it is.
All right.
Yeah,
Very
which
nice.
is their big mega ship. I took the what was it? The Mardi Gras, Carnival Mardi Gras, which Carnival's kind of, they're up in their game. They're getting into the cruise, the mega cruise ship thing. You know, you've seen probably the Royal commercials that they have, Royal Caribbean, that has their monster size ship, and Carnival now has a couple that are almost as big as the biggest Royal ships. And we went on one of them, and we just thought it was amazing. Actually, we've been on a lot of cruise ships over the years, and thought that this was probably one of our favorites. Just from the dining was amazing. You switched restaurants and things like that, and you didn't go to the same place every day, you know, which was good. And just the amenities and the rooms, and it was modern, and they had Shaq's Chicken, which was better. I'm telling you, better than Chick-fil-A.
Wow, that's a bold statement, brother. That is a bold statement.
And this apparently is a kind of a mirror ship of that, as you know, similar in size and layout and things like that. So anyway, yeah, we were just like, I don't know about you, but coming out of the winter blues, and this is kind of, I guess, how it feeds all into this, is it's that time of year where you start looking for stuff to do. What are we going to do? Where are we going to travel to?
We have booked our Memorial Day camping weekend is all booked.
Yep.
And ready to go. So we're looking forward to that. I've never been on a cruise. John, never been.
Well, I'll give you the dates. Feel free to come along.
I never been on a cruise.
Better with friends.
Well, I tell you, and I see the advertisements and everything looks amazing. And then if you go online, you're like, well, what does it really look like around the pool on a cruise ship? And then you see, you know, you see,
I mean, yes and no.
700 people all crowded around a postage stamp pool.
The funny thing is, it can be like that sometimes.
Sure.
I don't typically go to the pool during those times of the day, though. I'll go sit up on deck. I'll go do something else during the day, and then you go morning or evening, like when the sun's going down a little bit, and there's stuff to do. So no, it's actually a really good time. I mean, like I said, I've probably been on 15 or so cruises.
We've talked about this before, I think. And so I want to throw it out to you. Are you a cruiser? Is that what you're called when you cruise?
I guess so.
I've read, this is pretty amazing. What? Oh, Ron, you got to do it. Okay. Napua just posted a comment on our Facebook page. And he says she's got a cruise booked, and then COVID happened. Oh,
yeah. Well, it's time to rebook that.
Rebook that thing.
Yeah.
And daughter, the elder, has gone on a couple of cruises, and she went on her first cruise ever for her honeymoon, and then just fell in love with it. And that's what she and her husband like to do now. They go and hit cruises like once a year or twice a year, and really, really love the whole thing. Sometimes they'll do one like out of Baltimore.
Yeah,
and down to Bermuda, which isn't that much. And
Bermuda was fun. Actually, I haven't been there in a while.
I've never. Well, haven't done a cruise. I'm interested in doing a cruise, but here's the thing, though. I feel like I might be a little shortchanged now because I have, dry January ended,
right? Okay,
and I still haven't picked up an alcoholic beverage. I think I'm just gonna chill for a
Look,
while and see if
I'm-
that's going to help
it's-
me lose
I
some
gotta
weight.
be honest with you. Look, I'm with you, but we don't buy the unlimited beverage package or anything like
You
that.
don't drive
And
buy
we
the
just,
biggie package?
no, we
Okay,
just like,
okay.
we'll have a drink with dinner. Maybe I'll have one at poolside, but it's not
Okay,
like for
I
some
see.
people, that is the thing. And I could see why you think that. But yeah,
Right.
there's plenty to do. And quite frankly, Ron, there was something about just sitting out on your balcony with the ocean going by and hearing the sounds of the waves and having the sunshine hit you on your face that yep, that's
There
it.
you go.
Sometimes you just really need that because it does.
Hey, I was almost right on tune.
You were in pitch to do that.
Wow.
Just because life gets so busy, I think we enjoy just getting away from it all. And the fact that my wife can't or doesn't like to fly. She can if she chose to, but she has problems with her ears.
Right.
So
Could be painful. Could be
yeah,
very
it could be painful. Yeah. So we look
avoid
for
it.
ways.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
I'm
we
with
look
you.
for ways to get places
Do something
without flying.
Took the train to New York.
Train. Yep.
Train to New
Yep.
York was a lot of fun.
That was we're thinking about actually taking the train to Miami. We're debating on driving or taking the train.
Take the train, dude.
I know.
Take
I
the
know.
train.
I was thinking.
Why ask? Just
I know.
do it.
Like
Take
literally,
the train.
it's probably cheaper than driving and parking.
Oh,
so-
right. Park. Oh, man.
Yeah,
you're not
because you
kidding.
pay,
Sure.
$25, $35 a day in parking, and then got probably two tankfuls of gas probably going down there, or a tank and a half, and all that kind of stuff.
So in the middle of winter is when you start planning your vacation. So
That's it.
We're looking at greatest way I've ever thinking, what are we going to do in the summertime for a getaway? We always go camping, and we love camping. And it's not necessarily glamping, but although we do have a queen size air mattress that is, I don't know, like almost 1.5 feet tall. The thing is huge. And it's it's like a regular bed. It's super comfortable, and I think we got an electric site this time. And so we love camping. It's a lot of work. It's so much work, packing everything and then getting there and unpacking everything and then setting everything up. So really, like you said, sitting on the deck on a cruise ship. Yeah, we like to sit at the campfire and literally do nothing at all.
Yeah.
You want to go down to the lake?
Same idea. Yep.
No. You want to go fishing? No, I don't.
No, I'm good.
You want to go swimming? Absolutely. Hike? Please. No. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm sitting at this campfire, and I've had a cup of coffee, and we had breakfast, and now I'm just waiting for lunch.
So you are the perfect cruise person then, because that sounds like just a cruise on land.
That I am. Yeah. I'm sure.
Sitting around doing nothing, just waiting for the next time to eat.
Man.
Maybe go see a show at night, watch a band,
is
and
my
then
middle name.
hit the hot tub and go to bed. Yeah, I mean that's it. That's and then you get to see a couple cool ports. Usually, like on this trip, like I said, there's going to be 3 places we've never been before.
You don't go to the shows?
That's always cool. No, we go to the shows.
Go to the comedy shows or the musical review.
We like the comedy shows. We tend to like bands and stuff like that. Usually they'll have like some trivia kind of stuff going on. They'll have some karaoke going on.
The one I really wanted to go on, and now they're all done.
Piano bars
was the Kiss Cruise.
Ah.
I really wanted to do the Kiss Cruise. They would do one a year, usually around Halloween.
Yeah,
and there was always a costume contest, and then and the band was on board, and they did 2 big makeup shows, and then in the big amphitheater. But then they also did a lot of unplugged shows.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Where they weren't all dressed up and they were just playing like, deep album tracks that only I would know.
Yeah, I know.
Like only true Kiss fans would know. Because I have a friend of mine. He's a guy named Cy Seiler. He's in he started an 80s tribute band before it was cool. I'm like 95, 94, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They started a tribute. No, 96, an 80s tribute band. Then you were only 6 years out of the 80s. and they called themselves the Reagan years. But anyway,
Right. Yeah.
he and now it's blown into this really big,
It's a thing.
huge production, right?
Yeah.
Sign his wife Karen, and but he's also a huge Kiss fan.
Yeah.
And so he and I will text each other like really obscure titles off of, like their third album, Dress to Kill. And I'll just send him Room Service. Just Room Service, send. That's the name of a song.
Right.
And he just comes back with the next line, baby, I could use a meal. And then he
starts quoting.
Then we go back and forth with
like
lyrics and titles and stuff like that. So that's why I'm a little bummed that I wasn't able to do the Kiss cruise before the band broke up. But
that's a bummer. I keep saying for a while I've wanted to do it, but it's been going on a long time now. I wanted to do the Cruise to the Edge, which was Yes's Close to the Edge. It was like a prog rock cruise.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And of course, now Yes isn't doing it, but they still have the Cruise to the Edge every year where they bring together all these prog rock bands and put them on there and that sort of stuff. I've always wanted to do that, but wife has zero interest.
Our friend Lisa Loeb is on a 90s cruise right now.
I saw that.
Yeah. So she's out in the middle of, I don't know, are they in the Atlantic or the Pacific? I don't know. But
who did I saw her with somebody the other day.
Downtown Julie Brown. She was with, I just saw the picture too.
Yeah.
Who was she with? She was with a guy from Jesus Jones.
Oh, okay. Right here, right
now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do a medley of their hit.
Play your other hit.
We don't have one.
Play your hit again.
No, great band though. It's a shame when something like that happens, when you have one hit and then you really can't hit on another one, because you've got a great catalog and hardworking musicians, and they go out and play all these shows.
Yeah,
and then fans who only know them from that one song, and then
or even 2 or 3 hits off of the first album, and then pretty much after that you don't have any more. Aha was a great example of that. Like they have a catalog of
Aha's got
12, 15 albums.
Sure.
And everyone knows them for the first album and maybe for the second album. And that's about it.
I don't know them from the second album. I only know Take on Me.
That's
the only Aha song.
The Sun Always Shines on TV was another hit also, by the way. Yeah, you'd probably
in the United States?
Yep, in the United States. Yep.
Right.
And then
I'd have to hear it.
There was one other song. There was a slow song. They had like 3 hits off the first album. Yep.
Which, by the way, John is a compendium of musical knowledge, and he has
stupid.
I know I can throw. Are you good on years? Or are you good on artists? If I throw you a title,
I'm better on. Well, titles are tough. If I hear it, I can name it usually. So, like, if I hear a couple notes, I'm really good at that.
Okay.
So titles, artists, yeah, I'm pretty good on that. Album names, sometimes, and then pretty much my breadth of knowledge drops right off around mid 90s.
Midnight. Okay. All right. I got you. But your sweet spot is what? 75 to like 90.
Well, yeah, having worked oldies radio for
a
while, and then worked all through the 80s and right up in Z and stuff like that. I have some knowledge of those early years in the 90s too. So yeah, it's dumb though.
We were doing a musical trivia. We just like 4 or 5 of us, and we went to this musical trivia, and we were nailing it pretty good, and getting some pretty decent answers. When it came to country music, I had to defer to Michelle and James, but a lot of them. But now, if there was a song and you got it, if you also said, by the way, that's a cover, and name the original artist, you would get double your points.
Oh,
and the song was My Maria. And the country people, they said, I think it's Brooks and Dunn, right? My Maria. It might have been Big and Rich. I think it's Brooks and Dunn. And he was about ready to move on. I'm like, oh, that's a cover. R.B. Greaves. And he's like, what? He had to look it up.
Like, is he right?
Because is he right? Because that's one of those deep cuts. Again, one hit. Same thing with Dobie Gray and Seal Away and
Drift Away. because it was
Steal Away is Robbie
Dupree.
Dupree. Robbie Dupree I was thinking of Robbie Dupree, but I said Dobie Gray. Steal Away. Anyway.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Drift Away, Steal Away.
Yes.
Any other Away songs?
Not to be confused with Steely Dan.
Steely Dan.
Right. Away songs?
What's that?
Away songs. Run Away.
Oh, Slade.
Yeah.
You.
There you go.
I'm in the black and white. Run away. Which, by the way, they were also, here we go. I'm going down the rabbit hole. They had Come On Feel the Noise. That was their song.
Which was later.
Quiet Riot. Quiet Riot had a hit. It was a cover.
Right.
There are a lot of songs you don't realize are covers that were huge hits, like I Love Rock and Roll from Joan Jett is a cover. It's a cover song.
Is it?
Yes, from somebody else. Yeah, I don't know who the original artist is, but yeah. And God, what was the other huge song? Oh, Torn, Natalie Imbruglia.
Really?
Yeah, Torn.
Rick D's Weekly Top 40. Natalie Imbruglia. And Torn.
She's Australian. She's from down under.
Yeah.
And that's a cover.
Did not know that.
Torn is also a cover. A bunch of songs that you didn't realize were covered. Well, Nothing Compares to You, obviously.
That was the Family.
Sinead O'Connor.
And written by Prince.
Correct.
Done by the group called The Family.
There you go.
Which, there you go. That is obscure. But I had that tape.
You had the tape?
The Family album was really good. I mean, basically, it was a Prince album without Prince singing on it.
Right. But
really
he wrote and produced it?
Who knows?
I see.
Who knows what went on in Paisley Park Studios or wherever he was.
Going down the rabbit hole. All right, so Super Bowl is on Sunday.
Sunday.
I'm kind of relieved the Ravens and the Commanders are not in it because I can actually relax, and I just don't care. I don't care who wins. I've heard, I know daughter the younger lives in Philadelphia, and she's all about the Eagles. Okay, I could probably get behind that. And but then there's something to be said for the Kansas City Chiefs going for a three-peat. I mean, again, don't care. What I do care about are two things: the Super Bowl party we were invited to and the food.
Right.
I'm very excited about that. And the commercials. However, I think they've ruined the commercials, and here's why.
We'll see if it's the same reason that I think too, by the way.
You see them all online before they even air in the
You are correct.
Why bother? Now I can just get up and get my chips and dip, and I don't care about your Super Bowl commercial that you just spent $8 million for 30 seconds during the Super Bowl, but I already saw it on YouTube 4 days ago. Why do I care?
Yes. I agree.
Because now I don't. Because everybody's going to get ahead of it, and everybody's got to get their commercial out. Now, is that Jeep commercial you sent me yesterday with Bill Murray redoing Groundhog Day? Is that a Super Bowl commercial?
So, I really don't know. That's because they released it on Groundhog Day.
Because that's pretty big budget to get Bill Murray to do that.
Yeah, I don't know if you all have seen it, but yeah, they're doing like basically a redo of Groundhog Day, and Bill Murray wakes up, not to ruin it too much, but tune out for a second if you care, because
you ruin it.
It is Groundhog Day, essentially bringing back Brian Doral Murray's in it. What is his name? Ned
Ryerson.
I think it is. He's in there.
Bill?
But the story is essentially that he actually now loves Groundhog Day because he's driving a Jeep.
He found the Jeep and does all
and he's doing all kind of cool stuff with the groundhog.
And the groundhog's buckled in the seat next to him.
Don't drive angry.
Right. Don't drive angry. That's where the movie Drive Angry got their title from.
It's funny.
That I love stuff like that. But
yes, I'm not sure if that is Phil. Nipua said she saw it last night. So yeah, by the way, Mike points out, aren't you supposed to be calling it the big game?
No.
Are we not
And
allowed to use the
I'm
the
allowed to
term?
say Super Bowl. I'm reporting it as a news story, it's a
Okay.
fact. It's called the Super Bowl
Thanks, Mike.
because I'm not making money
You can't
off
use it in a
of
commercial.
yeah.
Yeah, as far as I know, we don't make any money off this podcast right now. So we
Which,
do it for the
which
love of
the greatest
for the
wife ever
love of the
this
game.
morning, this very morning said, aren't you
You can-
supposed to be making money off of that?
No,
that's
actually,
just-
it's turned into John talks to Ron and Ron talks to John.
That's a fair point. No, I mean, that's it. Well, again,
Well,
fair point.
yeah.
But the Super Bowl commercials, that was a big budget. It's got to be a Super Bowl commercial. But
Gotta
now,
be.
I mean, I liked the one. I mean, there are a bunch that I loved. There was one year that was just all about farmers feeding America, which I thought was great. It was a little tearjerker.
Yeah.
The one with the Budweiser commercial with the Clydesdales after 9/11, the Super Bowl after 9/11, where
Right.
they bow towards New York skyline, which was, that's great. And another one with the Clydesdales. Budweiser always makes a great commercial.
The
But
E-Trade baby made a comeback last year,
the E-Trade baby, exactly. It was-
which I have a friend on the island who was the CEO of E-Trade, and he's the one who killed the E-Trade baby when he was the CEO.
really?
Yeah.
He was like, I've had enough of this baby.
He said, I hated the baby.
I hated the baby.
Well, I think at the time they were trying to move a little bit away from consumer accounts that they didn't make any money on and I may be completely phrasing this incorrectly, so don't hold it against me. But yeah, he killed the baby.
It's frowned upon in this establishment.
Which
a great line from the E-Trade baby. Go ahead.
Yes, I know, but it's funny. I kid him about it all the time. Like when I saw the E-Trade baby coming back, I texted him and I'm like, he's back.
Smooth move.
Yeah.
Smooth move.
Apparently people liked the E-Trade baby.
So,
Mhm. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm thinking of like Super Bowl
Round of fun
commercials that I've
this establishment.
Thank you. See, you got the line. I knew you knew that.
That was funny. Yeah.
What was the puppy baby monkey? What was that one? That was Mountain Dew puppy baby monkey something or other.
And Doritos usually has some sort of outrageous commercial.
Doritos, if you'll recall, reunited Jay Leno and David Letterman.
Did they?
In a commercial.
I must have missed that one.
Yeah, they did.
Mm.
So you're just wondering how much money went into that.
Right. Well, you do. I mean, these are supposed to be, crazy expensive, engaging commercials that are going to be memorable. You're going to talk about them for weeks at the water cooler when we used to do that.
Right.
When people
The
used
water
to
cooler
stand around at work and talk before everybody started working at home. Yeah. I don't know. I think you're right, though, as far as it really does ruin it. I wish they wouldn't. And I think purposefully I'm going to try and avoid them. Like if somebody has a review of the top 10 Super Bowl commercials you're going to see, I'm not going to watch them.
Speaking of talking in the water cooler, I'm afraid that I probably in the office setting was the great distractor. I'd go and do my show.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'm done, I'm walking by and I'm talking to this person at their desk and I'm talking to that, and I'm stopping them from doing their job because
great distractor.
I was the great distractor. And I still kind of do it now in the office, even though there's one person to distract. I march right out and start talking to her. March right out and start talking to her. She might be in the middle of it. She has to stop typing, look at me, have the conversation until I've recognized this and I realized this because I'm a social butterfly. Okay, I'm a social being. I'm an extrovert. I'm out there. I'm chatting. I'm yakking. I do it for a living. Blah blah blah. And when I'm in the office, I'm going to do the same thing. It's what I do.
Yep.
So I have to really kind of curb that. Jim just posted on our Facebook page. Was it Snickers with Betty White getting tackled? A Super Bowl commercial? Yes, it was.
I think it was.
You're not yourself.
I think it was.
And then
Pua said, "Oh God, no, monkey."
Monkey. Was it puppy baby monkey? What was it? Puppy baby monkey something or other. Puppy baby monkey. Oh, come on. Now we got to look it up. Puppy Baby Monkey.
Was it Puppy Baby?
Baby. It was just Puppy Baby Monkey. That's it.
Is it?
I thought it was something else.
And what was it advertising?
Mountain Dew. I knew that. Super Bowl 50.
I mean, I remember.
Character created by Mountain Dew for a TV commercial that aired February 7, 2016 during the Super Bowl 50. Garnered a wide amount of media coverage, both positive and negative. Apparently nothing.
Negative.
Negative.
I mean, I remember people saying that, the Puppy Baby Monkey thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you anything about the commercial. I don't remember it at all.
It was just dumb.
That's probably why.
That would be why. As I recall, it was just dumb. And then, what was the other? There was a web page or a web. What was the thing, John, where you could reserve the name for your
the domain name? It was GoDaddy, right?
GoDaddy. They sunk a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money, as I recall, into Super Bowl commercials. And there you go. How much did they spend? And I couldn't remember the name of the company.
I mean, no offense, but I don't like them at all.
No, okay. All right.
They're one of those add-on companies.
None taken.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for the Super Bowl commercials, I guess. But I mean, really, if I wanted to, I could look them up online. There was one that was just released today, which I guess is going to air in the Super Bowl as well, for the new Fantastic Four movie. Marvel.
Oh yeah, I saw they were premiering that.
This is the second reboot of
just enough of the superhero movie.
Well, there were two.
Sorry.
It looks, what? And they're making it retro. I think it takes place in the 50s or 60s. It's an interesting theme.
Is that the take? Okay.
And apparently it's not in this universe,
Of course not, because everything's in the multiverse.
They've established a multiverse. You have Captain America, the new Captain America, which is Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford, who
apparently is the Hulk.
He's the president. He's the Red
Hulk. Who turns into the Hulk?
It's the Red Hulk, but I don't know what the Red Hulk's called. Is he called Red Hulk?
I don't know. They look like.
Apparently, I'm not very good at that. I'm not. I don't know.
I don't know
that deep minutia when it comes to that. But yeah, Fantastic Four trailer is out, and Pedro Pascal is
who I really like,
Mr. Fantastic.
Again, if you haven't seen the Nick Cage movie with Pedro Pascal in it,
oh yeah. Well, I mean, I just
see that. You got to see that. That is one of the funniest things.
Hilarious.
Yeah, just because it's
Nicolas Cage
Nick
plays
Cage
himself, right?
Making fun of Nick Cage.
He plays himself, yeah, and or a version of himself.
It's so good.
But I just started watching. We were talking about the streaming last week and all the shows we were watching.
Yeah,
and I forgot to mention Narcos. So I just started watching Narcos. So we've got like 17 balls in the air, and we're now we sit down and we're like, all right, what are we watching now? I don't remember, and we don't remember. So we don't write it down. So then we just start a new one. And we watch that one till it's over. Like, oh, that's right. We were watching Narcos. I got to go back and watch Narcos. It's all about the Medellin cartel and Pablo Escobar.
Yikes!
And the importation of cocaine from Bogota, Colombia, or Medellin, Colombia. But Pedro Pascal is in it, and he's awesome. And apparently, a lot of people knew him from that. I never watched it. They knew him from that before I got to know him in The Mandalorian.
Sort of.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sort of. He had mask. But he wore the mask the whole time. I mean, that was his real voice. He was doing the acting, not a stand-in.
No, it's good.
I enjoy the voice.
I like that. not CGI.
That's a good one.
So,
all right. We are running out of time because John's under the... We have to, when we punch out, we got to punch out on time.
Yes.
No, we're running over like we usually
don't let me forget. I want to plug something before we go.
Oh, by the way, did you get my text, John, about the on the History Channel? It was when Disney.
Oh yeah.
Disney built America. Did you watch it?
No, but it'll rerun about 1 million times over the next few years. Awesome. I'm sure.
It was the episode the first episode I saw was about the making of Snow White, which was revolutionary, and how they tried to achieve the 3D and depth and the
multi-plane cameras,
multi-planes of glass,
which
and
is
the
amazing.
camera, and it was they had to invent the technology to do what he wanted to do, which was unheard of. Millions of dollars, and they had to get financial backing, and Roy Disney was basically the unsung hero of the company. I mean, Walt Disney was imagining everything, and Roy Disney was making it happen.
How to make it happen money-wise. It was the same thing with Eisner and Wells during the second heyday of the before Wells unfortunately perished in the helicopter crash.
Then they went into the then the next episode was about the building of Disneyland. And how he was getting into and basically invented the theme park while everybody else was getting out of the amusement park business because it wasn't really working. He created the theme park with a hub and the lands, and what do we put in the center? Oh, we put a castle and
the weenie, as it was called. Walt would call it the weenie. They're the thing that drew you down the street was the castle, the weenie.
Drew you down Main Street, and then you could go to the different lands, the Frontier Land and the Tomorrowland and all that stuff.
Spokes.
Fascinating.
That was innovative.
It was fascinating to watch. And then there was the episode about merchandising. Yeah. And the guy that really kind of put Disney on the map with merchandising. And then there was an episode about Disney World, which Walt Disney died before that could open. And his original vision was for Epcot. He wanted to build a city,
a actual city,
called Epcot.
Prototype community of tomorrow.
And then the only way Roy Disney could get involved was he said, "I'll do it, but you got to put a Disneyland in there." Well, I'll get behind you, but you got to put an attraction.
You got to have something that's going to make some money to support all this stuff.
Right? Exactly.
Right.
So and then Roy passed away, or not Roy. Walt passed away, so Roy really had to see the vision through, and that's where you got Walt Disney World. They wanted to make sure that everybody knew it was Walt Disney World, and then Epcot became a portion of that, but really more of an attraction than anything else. But the innovative thing about that, when they were buying up all the land and they used shell companies to buy all the swampland in Florida, was that they got into the hotel business, the hospitality business, because you could do Disneyland in a day, but they wanted you to stay overnight.
In the world, they wanted to build attractions. By the way, unfortunately, Roy Disney passed 2 months after Walt Disney World opened. So he saw his brother's dream through, and then and then that was a tough time for the company because there was no Disney at the helm.
Right, exactly.
So what are we going to do?
But I wanted to know if you had seen that, which I thought was really interesting because John has a podcast on his own. Which is called
Intercot Insider Disney podcast. It's the Intercot Insider podcast.
And basically it's about Disney parks. Not necessarily about Disney, the business or animation or anything like that. But as it pertains to Disney parks and attractions.
Much like here, we wander off topic frequently.
Shocker.
And talk about the state of theme parks as a whole and the industry and stuff like that. But mostly we're Disney Parks podcast, and we only do it once a month. I think that honestly is what kept us going for the last 15 years. Is that we just do it once a month. And sometimes if we miss a month, then we miss a month. Are
you saying we need to cut back, John? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying that's how that podcast has survived. It's a little bit easier when you have the two of us and we're both committed to doing something. But when we have 4 or 5 people, trying to get like a group of 3 people at least at a minimum together to do a podcast is tough.
It's tough.
It's tough because, we have real lives, right?
Right.
Speaking of which,
we got 6 minutes. So let's go ahead and get right into it. And that is, it's time.
It is.
Get the gray matter working. Fire off the synapses, engage frontal lobe, form new neural networks, utilize the cerebrum. As Pooh says, it's time to...
Thought I pressed it.
Think.
Two. Bing.
Did we explain to you why we say two? No, I don't think we did.
I think at some point we have.
Have we? All right.
Yeah. 2. Casey Kasem.
Casey Kasem.
Yeah, look it up.
He's
Casey
doing
Kasem
promos.
rant.
Yeah, he's doing promos for American Top 40, and apparently the radio station was running it at 2 a.m.
2 in the morning. Yeah.
So
Join me
tomorrow
Casey Kasem,
morning.
Tomorrow morning. At
Sunday morning at 2. And then he just goes,
2?
2?
2. running me overnight.
Oh, he was
These
not
people.
happy. All right, here's today's question of the day. And as always, it's for pride, not prize. Here we go. And we're going back to the Super Bowl commercials. In the 1979 Super Bowl commercial, Mean Joe Green of the Pittsburgh Steelers gives his jersey to a kid. What was the commercial for? What was the product they were selling? In the 1979 Super Bowl commercial, Mean Joe Green of the Pittsburgh Steelers gives his jersey to a kid. Hey, kid. And then he throws him the jersey. What was the commercial for? What were they selling? Put your answers in the comment section. Good luck.
I thought I knew this one,
But you did not.
but I did not.
You did, but you did not.
Ron makes me play the game before the show.
I don't give him the answer.
No, he doesn't.
I want to
give me
see
the
how
answer.
I want to see how gettable it is.
Right.
Because it's not fun. It's
was
not
close.
fun. And when I first started doing the question of the day, I thought it was fun. It was fun for me to almost every question was a stumper. Every question, they were so difficult, so hard. It would drag on for an hour and a half, trying to taking questions and giving clues. And it was, and you know what? It's not fun. It's not fun for the listener. It was fun for me, but it's not fun for the listener because you want to hear the question. You want to think you know the answer, maybe, and then you want to hear the correct answer. You don't want to hear all these wrong answers for an hour.
No.
Yeah. That's one of those things.
Or funny. It's not funny or fun.
I learned from execution what not to do. So you make the question, quote unquote, accessible.
Gettable.
So that, gettable. So people can answer the question. Because it's no fun if you throw a stumper up there. All right, here it is one more time. In the 1979 Super Bowl commercial, Mean Joe Green of the Pittsburgh Steelers gives his jersey to a kid. What was the commercial for?
All right, Susan coming in hot with
bam. Coca-Cola and a smile. There you go.
Yes, absolutely. Right. Yes, very good job. And also with the runner-up pride and prize, Jim and
Coca-Cola and Mike. There you go. Yeah, that was an easy one. The kid gives him a Coke. He drinks the Coke all the way down in one fell swoop. And the kid was like, "Oh, you're welcome." And he starts walking away. Hey, kid.
The kid
turns around, throws him the jersey.
He thought he got stiffed. The kid thought he got stiffed.
Well, but Joe was just trying to drink down the Coke in one fell swoop.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I have to have a Coca. I haven't had a Coca-Cola in a while.
I did do the zero, but I feel
the zero. I like the zero. Every now and then, I like to get the real thing. Ha ha ha! Get it? The real The thing I love about Coca-Cola advertising, because they're just going to sell Coca-Cola because they do. So a lot of it's just imaging, just to get the name out there, just so it's at the forefront of your mind. Yeah. And I would love to have been working at the ad agency where Coca-Cola spent millions of dollars at the ad agency, and their slogan was, "Coke is it."
You remember it, right?
Is it wrong? No. No, not at all.
Is she right?
Is she right?
No.
That's
okay. Very
good. Again, little inside baseball there with John and me. But still, I just thought it was interesting when you come up with something for marketing. So,
I've got something here.
All right.
Just because I'm going to promo it. Okay.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so I do some volunteering for a group. In fact, I'm the communications guy for a group.
Did you come up with that? Did you come up with that?
Oh, yes.
Cat's me if you can.
Yeah. Of course I did.
I love everything about this, John. All right, go ahead. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, just wanted to let everybody know we're doing a 5K on Hilton Head Island. Catch me if you can. 5K for All About Cats, which is a feral cat community and cat welfare organization here on the island. But the reason why I'm bringing it up to all of you is we have a virtual option. If you want a medal, you want a cool shirt, you can participate virtually. The link now is in the chat on Facebook and also YouTube. You just go to bit.ly/CATS5K and you can sign up and we'll mail you all that stuff and you can help out a lot of cats on the island.
All righty.
100% volunteer 501c3. So.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Got all the legal things. So
yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. If anybody wanted
also
to
makes
help out.
your donation tax deductible.
Yeah.
As well.
By the way, that is another thing. Even if you don't want to do the 5K, you don't want the shirt, you don't want the medal, go then to All About Cats HHI.org. We just redid. Yep. We just don't go to just without the HHI because that's somebody else. All About Cats HHI.org. And you can go to the donate page and throw us a 5 or 10 if you don't mind. I normally don't do this kind of stuff, but you know what?
No, you never do. This is the first time you've ever done it. And 2 years of the podcast. So
yeah, but good organization, good people, 100% volunteer, and we support cats in and around.
I got to visit the sanctuary, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Some were friendly, some were a little standoffish, but it was feed time.
Yep.
They were great. They were a lot of fun.
Yep.
Because the greatest wife ever was with me, and she's the cat whisperer. Trust me on this. And so I FaceTimed her so she could just see. And I'm like, look where I am. She's like, oh, and she's talking to all the cats. It was great.
I know. Yeah. So there's the URLs to both places. If you can help out, we appreciate it.
And they take care of them health-wise as well. I mean, they're all
health and welfare.
They're all fixed and
neutered,
neutered, and
take care of them. We feed them the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, they get shots, so they're not.
Get them adopted. Every cat there is adoptable. If the cat chooses you, you can take it home.
Take it home.
Yep,
absolutely. It's got its shots, and they're all healthy and
yes.
Tagged.
That's the ultimate goal is to find every last one of the cats a home if they want to go home with a human. Some of them are feral and they'll always be feral, but
right.
So, anyway, that's it. That's my plug.
Done. All right. Well, who are you picking for the Super Bowl?
Come on.
What? Oh, yeah, that's right. Never mind.
EAGLE. That's how you spell it, right?
All right, put your picks in the comments section. I want to see who you're picking.
Yep.
And then we will discuss all about the commercials next week. So you can vote on your favorite commercials if you happen to watch them. I'm just going to watch them on YouTube now. I don't have to worry about the game. So I can get up and go to the bathroom. But anyway, thank you so much for your time and for listening. And we really appreciate it. And thanks for hanging out. And if this was the podcast that you had was number 2 in Frederick Magazine, thanks for that.
Right? Yeah, you're number 2.
I'm guessing not.
What happened to your mic? Is the battery going?
Is it me? Is it the mic?
Yeah, it's the
mic. Oh, no, I don't think there's a battery. So you're hearing it in the mic.
Yes.
I didn't know if it was the microphone or if it was my headphone.
Yep.
All right. Hold on.
Yeah, no, that's...
There we go.
Okay.
Nice. All right.
It's fine now.
Interesting. I thought it was my headphones, but you're saying it's the microphone.
I thought maybe your microphone, some have a 9-volt battery in them sometimes.
No, this is Phantom Power.
Huh. Okay.
Phantom Power on the board is
just went a little crazy right there towards the end, but that's all right.
Sorry, a little tech talk. A little tech talk with John and Ron.
Time to go. Time to go.
John, it is time to go. All right, listen, have a great week. I thank you so much for listening. Really do appreciate it and for spending time with us. And really, I've said it before, and I promise we're gonna get more guests, and I'm working on an appearance from a major rock star who will hang out with us, I think, hopefully, because we've talked to Lisa Loeb before. And so we'll get them on the podcast. And then somebody from the sports world, sports broadcasting world, I should say, who has agreed to come on the podcast. So I've talked to a bunch of people and they want to come on our podcast. So we've got guests coming in the near future. Thank you so much again, and mash that subscribe button and like button. We really do appreciate it. And please take care of yourselves and each other. Please be safe. John Yaglensky, Ron Ross. Love you, mean it. Bicycle.